What's up, social media? My name is Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of VGC Prep. Now, y'all probably just wondering what the hell was that. I just came back from PAX, actually. Literally just came back, and there was a joke going on. I forget exactly who it was because there's so many goddamn people there. But I had handed out business cards. Now, if you haven't seen this on Twitter, these are the business cards that I had. I'll just flip that over real quick. And if you haven't seen it on Twitter, you won't know. Princess Shizuka made the Gengar and the Shuckle, and the average Joe put that all together on a very, very snazzy business card. So I was handing these out to try and gain more views, and a lot of people, I'm hoping a bunch of people watching this episode now are new to the channel, so welcome. But someone got this one along with Moody Pwn's and X-Ray's Ovations cards. And there's, say, the Moody Brigade and the Ovation Nation. So he tweeted at me a very funny thing where he's just like, "Welcome to the Ovation Nation, welcome to the Moody Brigade, welcome to social media." So we were joking around afterwards after getting that tweet, and we're trying to figure out what I could call my fan club, and you know what, I think we're going to try for social media because it's goddamn hysterical. Alright, so what you were looking at here is a battle in a tournament that we had at PAX. They had a VGC tournament, and it was really awesome. A lot of people actually showed up. A lot of YouTubers showed up as well. There was a lot of big names there. Nappy, Game Boy Luke, Shady. Honestly, the list was pretty much endless, and it was quite awesome to be there in the same room as them. But yeah, so it was divided into brackets, and all of the guys with us, we've got Moody, Kevin, Juan, Average Joe. We had Sucker for Jessica, who's awesome guy as well. Whatever. And we all actually got paired in the same bracket. So this is round two. Both me and Alina had won our first battle. I'm not going to be showing the first battle. I forgot to ask permission, so I'd rather not upload that battle without permission. So I'm not going to. But that was round one. I won that, obviously. So we are battling Alina, which is really unfortunate. We were really hoping that we wouldn't have to battle each other until very late in the game. But as you can see, I am using the team that I used a while ago, and I had used it for a while. This is my tournament team. Now, on Showdown, I had actually changed this team up to be even better than normal. Gudra, I got rid of the bizarre, wonky EV spread that I had that made no sense, and Rotom Heat was replaced for Heatran. So those were actually pretty important changes to my team. But unfortunately, I forgot to do that for this, and basically what happened was when we got announced to the tournament, I was going to be using my Mega Camera Up team because it's a fun team, it's still pretty cool, but I just wanted to have fun. But then, we were thinking there's probably going to be a lot of Dark Void spam because we were hearing where a lot of people didn't really know the rules. So we kind of expected a lot of Dark Void, and unfortunately Mega Camera Up team does not have very much in the way of dealing with Dark Void. And while I was doing this for fun, I did want to still win, so I decided to bring this, and I do feel bad because I brought such a try-hard team, and my first opponent definitely had a much cooler, way more fun team, and I was just like, got Mega Kangaskhan. So this is the first battle in the set against Alina, and looking at her team, we didn't have notebooks, so I can't tell you I remember the rest of her team, but these were the top four that I thought would work, so let's get right into it. Now, I do start off with Gudra and Kangaskhan. Now, she does know my team pretty well. She does know that I have Trick Room, and I figured she'd start off with some way to get rid of my Cresselia, because Cresselia or Aromatisse. And I was indeed correct. She does start off with both Gengar and Bisharp, so pretty solid lead for me. I've got my Kangaskhan out, I've got the Gudra out. Neither one of these two can really touch me now. I was expecting a Will-O-Wisp and probably an Iron Head into the Kangaskhan. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Mega Evolve. She knows I don't run Fake Out. So there's really, obviously she's going to be going for an attack. So I will be staying in. So I go for Protect here, expecting that double into the Kangaskhan, because normally Gudra doesn't really have too many ways to beat down both a Gengar and a Bisharp pretty quickly. But she predicts that perfectly and goes for the knockoff onto Gudra while switching into Landorus to take me, get my Kangaskhan to a -1. The knockoff didn't take me out, which is great. However, I'm still at a pretty low HP range. I lost my Assault Vest, and I'm not really sure what to do here. Now, I was sort of hoping she wouldn't go for Earthquake here. I stayed in basically to get a Ice Beam off on the Landorus, and I Fire Punched into the Gengar. Because I knew, the Landorus wouldn't take out my Kangaskhan, and I was kind of really hoping it wouldn't take out my Gudra, but unfortunately it does. So here I am going to bring in Cresselia, because it honestly is my best play right now. Gengar can't one-shot it. Landorus can't really touch it. And I bring in Rotom. I fully expected her to go for another... Actually, no, I didn't expect an Earthquake at all. I honestly switched into Rotom because it was my best bet at taking an attack from both Gengar and Landorus, while being able to set up Trick Room. And surprisingly, Gengar did quite a lot to this Rotom. It is a pretty bulky Rotom. I usually forget what EV spreads it is, but I was glad I switched out Kangaskhan that turn. So I do get my Trick Room up, and she brings in Venusaur. Now, I had gone for Ice Beam onto the Landorus, so that was pretty good for me. And I also went for Volt Switch on Gengar. Basically, I had just done that so I can switch out. I figured she would Shadow Ball into my Cresselia. Oh, I went for Overheat instead because it does a lot of damage, more so than Volt Switch was. And I figured Overheat plus Volt Switch would be enough to take out the Gengar, expecting a Focus Sash. Now, she actually goes for Mega Venusaur here, which really, really shocked me. I definitely did not expect that in the least bit. And I go for an Overheat on the Gengar, hoping to do what I wanted to do last turn, but I unfortunately miss. So Mega Venusaur was definitely a surprise, and me losing Gengar so quickly was unfortunate. But missing that Overheat was kind of crucial, because I wouldn't have... I would have taken out... Well, I wouldn't have taken out the Gengar, but it would have been down to to 1 HP, which would have been very, very important here. But either way, not a big deal. So I bring in Kangaskhan here because Cresselia will definitely take out the Venusaur with Psychic. And I was pretty much expecting the Fire Punch to take out Gengar. For those of you who've been around the channel long enough, you'll remember that I forgoed Sucker Punch on Kangaskhan a long time ago. Because I figured Crunch was better, and I switched to Fire Punch recently, so I am not... once ORAS came out, so I'm not, stuck against Mega Mawile, which could be problematic if I can't beat it quickly enough. So in comes Landorus. We know Landorus is the last Pokemon, so really it can't really do much. So I go for Ice Beam onto the Landorus, and it falls just short of taking it out. Now I don't know if that was a low roll or something, or she just has certain bulk. But either way, I don't take out the Landorus. It's not the end of the world because I can take out the Lando in one shot. Gengar can't take me out. So I'm kind of in like a pretty... I'm still in a decent position. Now, she does go for U-turn this time. But I just realized I'm not actually in a good position because unfortunately... Trick Room had gone out, and I'm not going to have enough HP to survive 2 turns. I would have been able to probably win if I had another turn left of Trick Room, but unfortunately I did not. So down goes my Cresselia. It hasn't happened yet, but obviously it will, and it does right there. But it was still a really awesome battle. So Alina is up 1-0 to me, and these are best 2 out of 3 rounds. So we'll be getting into the second battle here. Okay, I have to input the code, so I'll be right back. I'm just going to keep recording now, because I can. So 988G, WWXJ, GGXC, GGXC. Alright, so I'm back, and this is the second battle. Now, I was pretty... I figured, the team that I had brought the first round was a very solid team to bring. However, Considering her plays in the first round, I kind of assumed my best play might actually just be starting off with Cresselia. Because even if she did predict the Cresselia, I should be able to survive whatever she wants to bring in, and get Trick Room up. So that's what I do. I stick with Goodra because there's always the chance she starts with Charizard or Gengar, and Goodra with Assault Vest can beat those two pretty easily. So like I said, Goodra and Cresselia start off, and out comes Charizard and Bisharp. Now, I figured what would happen is the Charizard would protect and the Bisharp would go for knockoff. And even if it went for Heat Wave with the Charizard, I was pretty certain that I would survive it. Both the Heat Wave and the knockoff. So I just stayed in and gone for Trick Room. And with Goodra, I actually went for the Bisharp with a Flamethrower because I fully expected it to be the biggest threat to my team. So that's exactly what I did, and unfortunately I was wrong. I was not going to survive a double onslaught. So unfortunately I do lose my Cresselia, and I didn't bring Aromatisse as you saw, so I had literally no way of setting up Trick Room against this team. It was very unfortunate. Now I did take out Bisharp, and I didn't expect Landorus to come in, but I knew my best play was to bring in Rotom. Because obviously, you know, with a Landorus and stuff like that, Rotom can Volt Switch out on the Charizard and stuff like that. So basically, I went for Protect here, expecting the Rock Slide. I hadn't really known that she was... I think I knew she was Choice Scarf at this point, but I just kind of figured she would go for the Rock Slide. I wasn't sure what the Charizard wanted to do, but yeah. I just protected, and it turns out that was a good play for me because she went for Rock Slide and Overheat, and missing that and missing the Rock Slide on the Rotom was pretty important. So in comes Gengar, and basically I'm considering Charizard to be kind of a threat right now. Heat Wave is going to be doing a lot, but it actually really doesn't do too much to my team, so I wasn't sure what to do. I decided to Thunderbolt the Charizard and Volt Switch on the Gengar, and this is one of the issues. This Goodra kind of needs the special attack investment that I have on Showdown, because it 2-hit KOs Charizard, and right now it's only 3-hit KOing, which is really bad. It doesn't really do what I need it to do, and as you can see, it's not cutting it. So what I do here is I bring in Kangaskhan, because I know, you know, the Charizard isn't going to really be threatening me too much, but I made a really bad misplay here. I realized as soon as I Mega Evolved and went through with the turn, I really should have protected here, because as you can see, the Charizard goes for Overheat. And I was like, oh god, I really knew I should have protected. But I live at 7. I live at 7. It was a low roll. It has, I believe, I want to say a 30% chance to one-hit KO me. She's only running 44 special attack and Modest Nature on this Charizard. So I think it was a 30% chance. I'm making that number off the top of my head, but I believe it was an 80 to 100% chance. Like, that's the damage that it would do. So I think that's about a 30% chance to one-hit KO. So it was a low roll, and I won because of that. But, I mean, it's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. But we do go into a third match, and this is the exact reason why they have best 2 out of 3 for these kinds of events. It's really there just to prevent unnecessary hacks from happening. And, you know, you'd think, oh, if they're trying to prevent it, they get rid of it. But unfortunately for us, they just settled for this method. So with that out of the way, we're on to the third battle. And I liked my lead. I know the Bisharp was going to be a problem for me, but I figured this was my best lead. So I went with it, and I was really hoping the Charizard didn't start off this turn. Like I said, you know, that Goodra was really not the right Goodra. I really need to update that. But still, you know, it was a cool. It's still a cool Pokemon. So in comes Bisharp and Landorus, and I'm sort of predicting a knockoff, maybe U-turn combo. So I decide to switch out here into my Rotom. It doesn't really appreciate the knockoff, but from previous battles, I realized I didn't really need Rotom as much. So I switched it in, and she actually misses a Rock Slide, which is really, really unfortunate. But again, goddamn, she predicted me perfectly and got rid of my Goodra. So hacks aside, it was still a really good turn for her. So I bring in my Kangaskhan here because Kangaskhan is definitely my better switch in. I was debating going for Hammer Arm or Fire Punch, but I figured obviously if I miss Hammer Arm, I'm going to be in a worse position than I would be. So I decided to go for Fire Punch. Now, she does go for Protect here. And at this point, we do know she's Scarf, so she will be going for Rock Slide again. And unfortunately, she misses it a second time, and that does matter. You'll see later on that we will take it pretty well. However, it does matter. You know, damage is damage. My Kangaskhan did get flinched, but that mattered literally nothing at all because I Fire Punched into the Bisharp, and we obviously saw that protected. So basically here, the Landorus was pretty down. I decided to go for Protect here because I figured the Bisharp would try and Sucker Punch me or Iron Head me, and I didn't want the damage, and I was right. She did Sucker Punch into the Kangaskhan. And I go for Overheat again onto the Landorus because I didn't really have, obviously, a choice in attack, so that's what I went for. Now, in comes the Charizard, so it didn't really take it very well. I mean, it did take it very well. Sorry, that's the wrong phrasing, but you catch my drift. Obviously, it's going to take an Overheat very well. So it Mega Evolves, and I'm thinking at this point, what could I do? I went for the Double Protect. Now here's the reason I went for the Double Protect. I fully expected a Sucker Punch onto the Kangaskhan followed up by a Heat Wave. And that probably would have taken me out. So I went for the Double Protect just to stop the Sucker Punch from happening. I fortunately got it, but she didn't go for that. She went for Overheat. So that Double Protect so mattered. But I do survive the knockoff with Rotom, and I went for Volt Switch just so I can get my Cresselia out here. And I switch in Rotom so I can just sack it off, because I know that she's not going to double into the Cresselia this turn. She really needs to get rid of the Kangaskhan, because Heat Wave won't take it out at the range it's at, and Double Edge will certainly take out her Charizard, and Fire Punch will certainly take out her Bisharp. So I switch into Rotom to basically die, letting me safely get up Trick Room this turn, which is what I do. Now, I am sort of a little nervous here because obviously I cannot attack with my Cresselia, because it's at 10 HP, and Bisharp has Sucker Punch, so I have to play absurdly carefully. So I go for Helping Hand. You know, it's really honestly my best play. The only other move that I have that doesn't do damage is Trick Room, and I obviously cannot go for that move. So I go for Helping Hand into Double Edge into Charizard. I figured, honestly, if the Bisharp Sucker Punched my Kangaskhan at this range, I wouldn't die, and I can take 2. So I figured my best play would be to hit the Charizard, so that's what I did. So in comes Gengar, and, you know, like I said, I basically wasn't too worried about the Sucker Punch. However, as you notice, I didn't go for Helping Hand. I basically figured she'd be taking down the Kangaskhan, and that would be her priority. So what I do is I Fire Punch the Bisharp, and that will be more than enough to take out the Bisharp. Which, you know, that's all I needed to do. As long as she Sucker Punched the Kangaskhan, I'd be in a good play. And here's where I think she went for a misplay, which honestly cost her the game. She taunted Cresselia instead of attacking Cresselia. Unfortunately, I think that did honestly lose her the game here, because she knew I had Mental Herb. We had talked about before the battle. I was debating whether or not to keep Mental Herb or go for, I think it was Safety Goggles, and you know, everyone suggested just, dude, stick with the Mental Herb. So I did, because, you know, I have a Aromatisse on this team now, so I don't really need Mental Herb, because, you know, obviously I can block it with Aroma Veil. But yeah, so I really think that was a really bad misplay. She really definitely should have taken me out there, because if she had taken me out, that turn with Gengar. I don't have Sucker Punch on my Kangaskhan, and I think that's pretty well known in the group that I don't run Sucker Punch on my Kangaskhan. So I had no way of beating the Gengar right away, I think, because you had the Landorus and the Kangaskhan. I don't remember exactly, but basically, had she gone for Shadow Ball there, she would have won. And because of the hacks, I think she would have won. So I fully do say that she should have won that battle. The ball was definitely in her court, so she should have won the set, but unfortunately, this game does have some luck involved. Obviously, if I didn't get that double protect, I wouldn't have Kangaskhan. Obviously, the Rock Slide misses, I wouldn't have Rotom. And the low roll in the second battle against the Kangaskhan. So honestly, she should have won. Obviously, I took the win because it's a win, and I wanted to continue going. But I did tell her, you should have won that battle. All intents and purposes, you should definitely have won that battle. So props for playing really damn well. It was a really damn good battle. I really enjoyed it. Sans the hacks, of course, which was mainly in my favor. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It really is, and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I'm just saying it is unfortunate, and I do agree that she should have won. She should have won and moved on. But that's the battle. I'll be uploading another 2 battles from PAX for the next 2 days. One is a gym leader battle that I battled with Miguel, Terralution 23, co-admin of the PDL with me, and creator of the Lithia League. So that'll be cool. It was a gym battle, double battle, multi-battle thing. It was quite a cool battle, and I'll be uploading the rest of the tournament as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do truly appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, really love it. Thank you for following me here all the way from PAX. So yeah, like I said, I really do appreciate the watch, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace. He just immediately goes for Swagger. Fan-frickin-tastic. Which means he's putting the Cresselia to sleep, which means I probably want to switch that for